Holy shit, dude, Ned said, looking at the screen in horror along with the rest of us. Now, if you listen closely, we're going to give you some information about what to look for in order to understand the symptoms of being infected with one of these alien parasites, the woman on the TV screen began to say, as I gritted my teeth staring at it. No fucking way. Oh, that's bullshit. They're gonna terrify everyone in the city. It's not the symbiotes, I said, standing up from my seat. Son, what are you thinking? I'm thinking I'm about to make a goddamn spectacle, I said as I rushed through the apartment, quickly grabbing my suit. I still hadn't repaired it yet, but that wasn't the important thing. I quickly put it on, cloaking myself and making my way out of the door, as everyone in the apartment attempted to stop me, but I wasn't hearing it. There wasn't much time left, as I rushed out, using Spirit to summon a set of wings and taking it to the skies. Okay, Spirit, I need to get there in a hurry. Don't worry, Spirit has this, the Spirit replied, summoning himself from the liquid steel around my back, as my wings seemed to stiffen up, and what amounted to some kind of propulsion-based jets sprung to life on my back, spinning up rapidly as I began to hurtle through the skyline at breakneck speeds. I was moving way fast, which was a good thing. I didn't have much time. As I rushed through the skyline, rapidly passing the city below me by, closing in on the location, finally seeing the mayor's office where this little broadcast was being held. I quickly decloaked myself, having Spirit break down the jets and the stiffened wings into a softer, more manageable state. As I swooped in over the crowd above, people began to react in astonishment and surprise as the heavy metal knight swooped in overhead, flapping my wings as hard as I could, stopping my movement a few feet above the podium, as everyone on the stage looked on in amazement. And finally, I landed down on the stage along with them, retracting my wings and beginning to make my way towards the woman who was currently speaking. You are a criminal. You are in violation of laws and ordinance. You are not above the law. Never said I was, lady. But if you'll excuse me, I have something to say, I said, as a chain whipped out from my wrist, snatching the microphone out of her hand and quickly jerking it over to me. Clasping it in my grasp, I began to look out towards the audience. Hello, people of New Star City. I know this woman has told you a lot of things. She's got you all worked up about the big bad aliens coming to take our planet over. First and foremost, I'd like to say that's an utter load of crap. Many of you probably do wonder what's going on. And what she says does seem to make a little bit of sense when you don't have the information. But that's all it is. Them taking advantage of a lack of information. You don't know, and so you can be tricked. That's all there is to it. So, while I had hoped to keep this a little bit quieter, it appears that they've given me no choice but to give you the real scoop. Out of the multiple things that this woman has told you, that the mayor has told you, there's only one thing that's really true. The powers that I have, the powers that all of the other individuals that you've seen possess, do in fact come from an alien race, a species of symbiotic organisms that do not originate from Earth. These symbiotic organisms are intelligent, but basically everything else is complete hogwash. It's bullshit with a capital B. And honestly, I couldn't just sit back and watch while they turn this entire city into a panic zone full of mindless puppets, tricking them into doing whatever they want. So I'm gonna lay the truth on you. Some of this may be a little bit difficult, but I ask you to hear me out. These alien symbiotes did in fact come here from another world, but they are not on some invasion plan. Hell, they wouldn't have the resources to invade us even if they wanted to, because as it currently stands, they are, in all essence, an endangered species. Here on Earth, I believe the number is 10,000. If the number of any given species drops below 10,000, they are considered an endangered species, one on the brink of extinction, in danger of disappearing for all time, never to exist again. Well, I'm here to tell you that these symbiotic organisms are an endangered species. What we have here on Earth is essentially the last remnants of a dying race. Counting both the adults and the children, they number just over 200. They don't have enough forces to invade us. They wouldn't want to. That's not the manner in which they exist. They're not hungry for power or control. They came to our world with one simple hope: to find a place where they could exist, to call a new home, and a new race to partner themselves with. As symbiotic organisms, they cannot exist on their own. They need us. And while the powers that they grant to those that they bond with are impressive and what some of you might consider terrifying, I assure you these beings themselves are, well, weak, fragile. Without a host, they are next to helpless. In fact, before they came here, they had never even heard of the concept of deception, of telling a lie. They had no idea what it was. That is something that they learned from us. Because, as unfortunate as it is, after these aliens arrived here on our world, searching for peaceful coexistence and a new home, unfortunately, the individuals that they came in contact with saw the powers that they could provide, and instead of helping them, imprisoned them. Now, the small remnants of this dying race are little more than slaves, prisoners being held against their will, under threat of death and destruction. This woman wants you to believe that they have made a choice to lash out against us, based on those who have possession of the abilities. I'm here to tell you that that's bullshit. They don't have a choice in anything. The race themselves are peaceful. They don't want to hurt anyone. They just wanted a place to live, to call home, after being chased off of their home world, which now lies in little more than ashes due to the invading forces that destroyed it. And now prisoners to the Black Dog Syndicate. Their only chance to find hosts for their children, to ensure that their race doesn't simply go extinct, is to cooperate and do what they say. The symbiotes that are bonded to these criminals, they aren't the adults, the ones who can make conscious decisions about right and wrong and decide not to help bad people. No, they're the children, taken from their parents and placed into criminals. Children who have no idea about the concepts of right and wrong, who are being forced to learn it from people who rob and steal and kill, while their parents sit in captivity, unable to do anything about it. That is why I've been fighting, along with protecting you, all of the people of New Star City. I've been trying to save them, save their children, find them homes, allow them to connect and bond with people who are good and have good intentions. This woman talks about sending them back home, when they don't have a home to return to. Everything that they ever knew is in ashes. And I know because of what the people who have the symbiotes can do. that you're tempted to give in to the fear. You're afraid, and I understand why. But I'm going to ask you a favor. I'm going to ask you not to give in to the fear. Do not allow what these criminals have done to make you believe that this race of peaceful, kind organisms who only want a home to be turned into an idea of them being some sort of terrible conquerors, here to rob and steal and kill, like the people who forced them to do their bidding. I ask you to see this as an opportunity. There are many characteristics to human beings. We can be countless things. So, this is an opportunity to show them that. Right now, most of what they've seen of humanity is our cruelty. But we can still show them that there is a different side, that we human beings are more than cruelty, that within us dwells the capacity for kindness, understanding, acceptance. Let us teach them that human beings can be good, that we are not simply mindless animals giving in to the fear the moment it arises, that we can be better. I know it's a difficult thing to ask with everything that you're facing, but all the same, it is my deepest hope that you hear me, that you understand me, and that, if anything else, you help me show these people, these alien beings from another world, that human beings are worth protecting. I called out to the audience as they stood silent, staring up at me. For a few moments, you could hear a pin drop before clapping began. At first, just a small cluster of it, here or there. But it began to build until the entire crowd cheered and applauded and screamed, heaping praise and support upon me. As I looked over to the woman standing at the podium, looking at me furiously. Sorry for interrupting. I just wanted to pass on a little correction for your speech, I said as I tossed the microphone back over to her. Maybe I'll catch you later. See you later, lady, I said as my wings spread out, filling the stage, and with a single beat, I took off into the air, flying over the cheering crowd and back into New Star City.